Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly if you're new here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 3 meals that I made for my family this week. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're enjoying my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you around. So let's go see what I made for my family this week. Do you want to come, Molly? There's Molly. That's Molly. Let's see what I made. Tonight we're having chicken wings in the air fryer, and these are all the seasonings that I'm going to use for my wings. We're going to use garlic powder, onion powder. I have the smoked paprika. You could use regular ground cayenne pepper. You could omit that if you don't like your wings spicy. Regular black pepper, baking powder, that gives it a little bit of a crisp, and also extra virgin olive oil. Here I have my wings in the bowl. I patted them dry the best that I could. I always try to do that before adding any seasonings. These are also completely thawed. They were in my freezer. I did take them out this morning. I've never tried to air fry frozen or partially frozen wings, so I can't tell you if it would work out or not. So I let these thaw out all day, and now we are going to get them all seasoned up and ready to go. So I put on some gloves because it's pretty messy. And now I'm just going to start adding the ingredients. So I'm going to put in some garlic powder, and we'll do some onion powder. Next I'm going to add some paprika. I like the smoky flavor in the smoked paprika, and that does add a lot of color, especially if you're not going to be adding the cayenne if you don't like things as spicy as I do. Then we're just going to add some black pepper. And I'm using quite a bit. This is all really to taste. You can leave any of these ingredients out. You can add more or less of anything. It's really just up to you. And then I like to toss it in some extra virgin olive oil. And now I'm going to get everything really mixed together good. So now we're just going to get everything mixed up here just to get all those flavors together. I'm going to see how it looks after I mix it really good. I like a lot of color on it, whether it's from the paprika or if I want to use extra cayenne for more spice. So this is how it looks now, and I think I am going to add a little bit more of the cayenne pepper. So I am going to add a little more of the cayenne. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the black pepper too, and a little bit more paprika. I just think it makes it look really nice when it has that reddish color to it, and it's just adding more and more flavor. So we're going to give this a good mix again. Now that this is all mixed up, I'm going to show you how it looks now. Definitely more color, so that means more flavor. I'm glad I added those extra spices at the end. The last thing we're going to add to the wings is a couple tablespoons of baking powder. I like to do this. It gives it like a little extra crisp because we're doing it in the air fryer. If we were deep frying, we would be doing some type of breadcrumb mixture or flour, and that's what adds the crunch. So this is something I always like to do when I'm air frying my wings. I don't think I mentioned yet what I'm air frying this in today. I'm using my 8-quart Ninja Foodi. So I'm going to give the basket a good spray with just some, this is olive oil spray. You can use avocado oil or whatever it is that you prefer to use. I find that these wings cook best at 390 degrees for 20 minutes. So I'm going to set it at 22 just to let it preheat. And when it gets down to the 20-minute mark, I'm going to put them in, and I will check them after 10 minutes. Okay, we're at about 19 and a half minutes here. It's been preheating. So now we're going to get the wings in. I'm going to put, I think, 5 in. I don't like to overcrowd it, so I definitely do these in batches. You could put more. They don't turn out horrible, but I just find if you can do it in batches and spread them out, they definitely come out a little bit better. So I have my 5 wings in here. I'm going to give it a little more spray of the olive oil on top. I'm going to close the lid, and I'm going to check these in 10 minutes. Now I'm just making my sauce. I just have a bottle of blue cheese dressing, and I am going to mix that with the Frank's Red Hot sauce. You could always just dip the wings after they're fried in the blue cheese or in ranch, or you could toss it just with the buffalo sauce. I like to make the mixture of it, and I don't actually toss the wings in it. I just use it for a dipping sauce on the side. So we're going to get that all mixed together. And then I'm going to put that in the fridge just to chill a little bit and take it back out when it's time to eat. We're at 9.5 minutes, so here's how they look now. I'm going to flip these. I'm going to add a little more of the olive oil spray on the other side, and we're going to let them go for the remainder of the time. I know that in my air fryer, this is the perfect amount of time. You might have to adjust on yours, but for me, 20 minutes at 390 is just perfect. So we'll come back when these are done. Okay, the 20 minutes is up. These are done. I did test the bigger ones with a meat thermometer, and they are well over 165 degrees. So they are cooked through. They look nice and crispy. I'm going to plate these up and show you what we have. So here's my wings and my dipping sauce, and we're going to be serving this with a side of fries tonight. This is super easy to make. You can make it your way. You can make it spicier, less spicy, or if there's any type of seasoning you have in your pantry that you think might be good, you can always add that. I just suggest that you always add the baking powder because that does give it a nice crisp, and it's more like a fried wing as opposed to an air fryer wing. So this looks good, and I am ready to eat. Okay, so for tonight's side dish, we are going to have loaded baked potato skins. We are having steak on the grill tonight. I'm not going to be cooking that for probably 2 or 3 more hours. So this is a great side dish. You could make ahead. You could even make it the night before. But I am just going to throw this together now about 2-3 hours before I start the grill. Put it in the fridge, and then before we serve the steaks, I will throw these into the oven for probably about 20 minutes at 350 degrees just to heat them through. So what I've done here, I have scooped the insides out of 2 potatoes. I mixed it with about 2 tablespoons of butter and some salt and pepper. And now I am going to add the things that I'm mixing in. So we are going to put in some green onions. I have bacon here that I cooked and chopped. All of that. And I have some cheddar cheese. We're gonna see if that's, I might not use all of it. I'm gonna put more on top when we cook it in the oven later on, and I'll show you that. So we're gonna get this mixed together. Okay, maybe a few more green onions. And you know what? I'm going to throw the rest of this cheese in. Let's just throw it all in there. I have more to top it with later. Okay. Okay. So we are going to get that all mixed up. And now we are going to get ready to assemble the potatoes. Okay, so I've left a lot of the potato in there because we wanted to hold all the filling. So when I cooked these, I didn't cook them all the way as if I were making baked potatoes. I didn't want them to be too soft because I knew they were going to get mixed together and they were going to go back in the oven again. So they are a little bit hard, but that'll be fine. They'll finish cooking for probably, I would say at 350 for 15-20 minutes, and I will top it with more cheese like I said. So there's a lot more filling now that I added all that extra stuff in there. So let's get these filled up. Okay, and 2 more. This one's kind of falling apart. That's why you really want to leave a little more potato in there, but that's okay. And we'll get the rest of that. Okay, so here is how they look. And I am just going to cover these and put them in my fridge. I'll probably take them out maybe 15 minutes before I put them in the oven to let them come to room temperature. Then we will top them with cheese and bake them to go with our steaks. So we will see you back in a couple hours. Okay guys, it's about an hour later and I just want to season my steaks so they can sit in the fridge and just get some of the flavoring soaked in before I grill them. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit it with a little bit of olive oil on both sides. Just rub it in. And I can't remember what kind of steaks these are. They're New York something. I don't know. I don't think it's New York strip. They came in a big pack from Costco, and you can see they're different sizes. This is how they came. One is kind of small, medium, then this one's huge. We're going to keep the seasoning pretty simple today. I'm just going to use a little bit of onion powder that rubbed in, a little garlic powder, of course we're going to do some salt, black pepper, and then we will flip this and do it on the other side. So just a simple seasoning. Sometimes I like to use the Montreal steak. I've even used the Montreal chicken. If I'm out of it, I'll put that on the steak. It's good. But today, just more of a simple seasoning. And you really don't need that much seasoning when you have a good steak anyway. And these look pretty good. So a little more of that. Get it all rubbed in. And just a little bit of salt. Okay, so these are going to go in the fridge, and when I'm ready to grill, I'm going to take you outside and show you that too, if it doesn't rain, because it looks like there's a big storm rolling in. So I hope it holds out, and we can go outside and do some grilling. So I will see you in a little while. So now I've started my grill. I'm going to let this go for probably about 20 minutes until all the coals are gray and completely ashed over, and then we'll be ready to put the steak on. This is how you want the coals to look. They're mostly completely gray. You can see they're really hot in the middle, so we are going to get these steaks going. So here are the steaks. I put them out on my counter about 20 minutes ago. They had been in the fridge for quite a while, so now let's get them on the grill. And now that they're on the grill, I am going to cover them and check them in about 3 minutes. Okay, I took the cover off. I gave them a flip. We have a nice char. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cover them again, check them in about 3 or 4 minutes. So it started raining. I couldn't show you the rest on the grill, but here is my plate. I think it looks great. The steak came out absolutely perfect. On this night, we're having chicken salad BLTs. So over here, I have some rotisserie chicken. I have some bacon that I cooked and crumbled. I have some purple onion, and I have some mayo. So I'm just going to start by adding half a cup of mayo. I probably will end up using more, but we'll start getting this mixed up and see how everything looks. So I'm giving this a good mix. I added some salt and pepper, and I am going to add a little bit more mayo. It looks like it's still a little bit too dry to me. So we'll add a little bit more mayo and get that all mixed in, and then I think that should be perfect. Okay, that looks perfect to me now that I've added a little bit more mayo. It's not so dry. So now I'm just adding in the onions. I'm also going to add in the bacon. We are going to get this all mixed up, and then I'm going to put it in my fridge to chill because I'm going to be making some hash brown potatoes on the side. So I'm going to keep this in the fridge then until it's dinner time. So here I'm going to be making these hash brown potatoes on the side. I buy these in a big 8-pack at Costco, and it makes the perfect pan size. So all you do is add some hot water to the fill line, close it up, let it sit for 12 minutes, and then I'll show you what we do next. It's been 12 minutes, so I put them in my colander to drain. I'm also going to pat them dry with a paper towel. You want to kind of get all the moisture out the best that you can. So over here, I now have them in a bowl. I think these are great. They cook up good, they get nice and crispy. The only thing is they do lack a little bit of flavor. So, what I like to do, I had diced up some onion, I diced it pretty fine, and I added the onion. And then I added some salt and I'm adding pepper. And I like to add either garlic or onion powder. Today I'm adding some garlic powder. So these are very good. They are so easy. They cook up great. But to me, when you don't add anything, they definitely do lack flavor. So I always make sure, like I said, to add something, whether it's onions or onion powder. Definitely need salt and pepper, and the garlic powder I think gives it a great kick. So now I have some butter in my pan, and I'm also going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to heat this up for a few minutes, get the whole bottom of the pan coated before we add the hash browns. Now that the pan is hot and it has the oil and the butter all over the bottom, we are just going to dump the whole bowl in here, and then I'm going to press it down with a spatula. I keep my heat somewhere between low and medium. I don't go all the way up to the medium setting. I usually set my timer for about 6 to 8 minutes, and it's you keep it uncovered. So I'm going to press it all down here, and then I also like to add some butter to the top. So it kind of drips down as the pan heats more, and then when you start flipping them, more butter gets on the bottom of the pan, so it's more of a crispier hash brown. That's how I like them. You can always cook them less if you don't like them so crispy. So I'm going to put the butter on the top. I'm going to set my timer for probably, like I said, 6 to 8 minutes, and then we'll start flipping them and see how they look. So it's been about 8 minutes. I'm giving them a flip. They're not really that brown yet. Sorry about the lighting. I had the overhead light on over my stove, and it is creating such a glare you can't really see the coloring on these. But they are definitely not brown enough yet. So I'm just gonna flip them around a little bit more. I'm gonna pat them down, and I'm gonna let them go another 8 minutes. Okay, it's been about another 8 minutes, and they are starting to cook up. I think maybe now you can see the color a little bit better. They're getting more browned around the edges. So again, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to give them a couple more flips. I'm going to pat it back down, and I'm probably going to go about another 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so I let this go about another 6 minutes. I'm just going to give it one more flip, and I think for me, the crispiness I like, it's going to be done in probably about 3 more minutes. So we're going to give it a couple more flips, let it sit for 3 more minutes, and then they will be ready. So I have my lettuce and tomatoes and my croissant over here. So now we'll put this together. We'll put the chicken salad with bacon on the croissant along with some lettuce and tomato. You could even add more bacon on top if you wanted to do that. I just chose to mix it in with the chicken salad to give it the chicken salad BLT effect. I did make quite a bit, so tomorrow there will be leftovers to eat either on regular bread or even just as a snack with some crackers. I think this would be good. So now that we have all that together, we are going to plate up our potatoes, and I will show you my plate. So here is my plate. Everything tasted great. The bacon was good mixed in with the chicken salad. The lettuce, the tomato, and having it on a croissant was delicious. The hash browns were nice and crispy, although you can't tell in this lighting. And with the added onion, garlic powder, and salt and pepper, they had a lot of flavor. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're enjoying my content and my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.